Hello, welcome to part 3 of the independent samples t-test we are performing. This is where we are on the step 4. Just a reminder, click on subscribe to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. In this way you can get notifications when I make new videos. Alright, so step 4 says calculate the variance for each group. Calculate the variance for each group. How do we calculate the variance for each group? Let's go back to the Excel sheet, and remember, variance is the square of the standard deviation. So let's say variance 1 and variance 2. Okay, so variance is the square of the standard deviation. So you actually have in the formula you have a squared equal to 1 over n minus 1 sigma x minus m squared. Remember, we already have xi minus m is the deviation and we are taking the square. So what we now have is a table that looks like this. So what we are going to do is to sum up the squared differences. So we say take the sum of the squared differences. So let's calculate the auto sum here. Let's make it a little bigger, and then we calculate the auto sum for this column. Alright, so this is where we are. So we've calculated the sum of the squared differences, and that is giving us the variance. So we have variance 1 and variance 2. So let's enter them in this cell here. So variance 1 equal to this. No, I think we need to use the formula. So let's use the formula for variance equal to 1 over n minus 1 is equal to 9. So 1 over 9 times this times this. Okay, so for the second one is equal to 1 over 9 times this. So that gives us the two variances that we are looking for. So let me just make it to be 2 decimal places. So just right click, format cells, and then go to numbers, and then use 2 decimal places. Alright, so this is where we are at this point. We've calculated the variances for the two groups, and now we are ready to calculate the t-statistic. So if you want to do it by hand, this is what you have. You can go ahead to use this formula that says t is equal to m1 minus m2 all over root the standard deviation over n1 plus this. So you can actually do it by hand to verify if you have the correct answer. But we are not going to do it by hand. We are going to calculate it using Microsoft Excel. So equal to, sorry, this is the t. So the formula will be something like this. Let's see. So the formula will be equal to the mean 1 minus mean 2 equal to this minus this. Okay, so divided by square root the square root of the first one is SD 1 squared over n1. So this is the variance for the first group divided by n, which is 10. Okay, so then plus the variance for the second group, which is VER2 divided by 10. Okay, so enter. So now you have the t-statistic. So try to do this by yourself to make sure you get the right answer. So I'm going to format it to be 3 decimal places at this time. number, I'm going to use 3 decimal places. Alright, so we have 3.397 to be the t-statistic. We call it the calculated value of t, or the absolute value of t. So let's see, so we have 3.398. Here we have 3.397, is about the same. So finally we have the t-statistic, and the next thing we are going to do is, of course, we are going to disregard the sign if we are using it to verify from the statistical table. So the final step is to check the critical value of t from statistical table and compare it with the t we calculated. But before we do that, we need to calculate degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom for two independent groups is given by n1 plus n2 minus 2. So here you have 10 plus 10 minus 2, and that is 20 minus 2, that is 18. So I'm going to go to statistics table and check the value of t for alpha is equal to 0.05 and 18 degree of freedom. So let's open the statistical table and check. So in the statistical table, you need to find the table of t distribution. That is the table that we are going to use to find the critical value of t. We're going to find the table of t distribution. Alright, you can actually get a copy of this table from here. You can click here and download a copy of it, but me, I like accessing it from the page each time I'm working. So it takes a while, but let's just give few seconds. Alright, since we can't continue waiting for it, try to look it up by yourself, but if you have looked it up correctly, it gives you 1.7291. that is the value. So what does it mean? We need to draw a conclusion. If we compare this with the absolute value of t calculated, we find out the absolute value of t calculated is greater than the tabulated value, or the critical value. So the conclusion will be like this: since the absolute value, there is a mistake, of t is greater than the critical value, we reject. They say you fail to accept, but normally I use we reject the null hypothesis, and conclude that there is a significant difference in the two means, and that the new machine is faster than the old one. So this is how we come to the end, and now the complete Excel sheet, which is actually more complete than this one, is downloadable from here. You can just click on this page and you see the Excel sheet for question 3. That is this first one, and you can just go ahead to download it. I'd like to thank you for viewing. If you have any questions, you can just leave a comment in the comment box. Remember to subscribe to this video, to my channel, so that you can get notifications when I make new videos. I'd like to thank you for watching.